All right, guys, you got your first motorcycle. You're going to need some tools in order to deal with this stuff. So if you're working on Honda motorcycles, the main thing, metric. Everything that you're going to encounter on these bikes is going to be metric. Highly recommend getting, a full set. I go 10 millimeter. I have all the way up to 18 millimeter. That got me pretty much everything that I needed. I do believe you need an 8 millimeter to adjust the throttle cable, but I've been able to do that with just a small crescent wrench as well. Pry bar is going to be helpful from time to time, so grab one of those for sure. Some other nuances, you're going to just need an array of screwdrivers, a whole bunch of them, long ones, short ones, Phillips, flatheads, whatever you're going to need. Get a set of ratchets and sockets. And again, all you need are millimeter. Don't need standard measurements for any of this stuff. Probably going to need a breaker bar, all right, because some of these old bolts can be real bare. Other things, as we get into engines, you're going to need a good set of feeler gauges to adjust valves, adjust points. You're going to need them, so you might as well just start picking up this stuff. Other things that you're going to need, guys, this is huge. Game changer. You got to get yourself a meter, okay? Get a meter. You're going to need this. The electrical systems on these are pretty, they're finicky, man. That's what I learned on my first bike. And you're going to need one, okay? You can't just like wire these things up and be like, woohoo, and be all good to go. You're going to need to check components, going to need to check continuity. I'll show you what I do for some of that, but you'll definitely need one of those. And you'll also need a test light. So really basic test light, okay? Just bing, bing, really simple. I think they're like $10 at an auto parts store, things like that. Now, I'm gonna be dealing with engine quite a bit on this project. So one thing you're definitely gonna need, or I'm definitely gonna need, is a compression gauge at some point. Once I get that engine freed up, let's see where we're at. Compression gauge, you're gonna need it. So you might as well just go and get one. Here's the other one, specialty tool that you're gonna need. Telling you, you're gonna need these bad boys. All right, what the hell were they called? Oh man, what are they called? Oh, what are they called, guys? I gotta look it up. I can't remember what they're even called. Snap ring pliers. You need them, and I'm telling you, buy good ones. Okay, don't buy cheapy set. Buy a good set of these. I bought a cheap set, like a 12, 13, $14 one, and it couldn't get the job done. I was bending. I literally was bending the actual pliers trying to do what I needed to do. So snap ring pliers, you're gonna need these for sure. Most importantly, you need an impact driver. You cannot work on these bikes without an impact driver. You're going to need one. You're going to need one to take the side covers off. You're going to need one to do a whole bunch of different stuff. We'll talk more in detail about this, but if you don't have one, you have to go and get one. They're like cheap. They're $20, I think, on Amazon. Really cheap, but you are going to need an impact driver for sure. And then lastly, you're going to need one of these. You're going to need a caliper. All right, you're going to need a caliper. There's some measurements, some really precise measurements that you're going to need to do on these bikes. They're finicky, man. They're not just slapping on and go. Really precise measurements are going to be needed. So you're going to need a caliper as well. Those are kind of the main tools I think that I had to pick up in order to complete this project. So just get them now. Just get them now. And the cool thing is if you buy quality tools, you're going to have them the rest of your life. These snap ring pliers, I'm going to have these the rest of my life. The meter was a good meter. I bought that. That's all good. What else do you need? I mean, shoot. Yeah, you definitely need one of these. Need a torque wrench. Torque all your bolts properly, do all that stuff. That's going to be important as well. You're going to need these tools, man. The thing that I learned with my first project was, if you don't have the right tool, you're going to break stuff. All right. So get the right tools for the job that you're doing. Everything goes so much easier. Okay. Don't skimp on the tools. Get the right stuff. Buy quality tools, and you'll have them the rest of your life. You're going to need, you need putty knives and things to do some scraping. We'll get into protective gear a little bit later as well. What else? You're going to need a hammer, real basic stuff. Need some wiring stuff. You'll need some fuses. This also, I've actually used this a ton as well. Just a little telescoping adjustable mirror. sometimes just to get down and like see something underneath, just so you can't quite see it. This has actually come in really, really useful. They were in just a grab bin for like $1. Really, really simple stuff. The other thing I will just say when it comes to tools, get organized. All right. Get your tools out of a box and get them up on a wall where you can quickly just grab things and put it away. All right. The saying is that I grew up on was if you have time to work, you have time to clean up. And I really kind of attribute that to if you got time to take a tool off the board, you got time to go hang it back up. It's going to save you so much time. If I had $1 for every time that I was like, where's my 10 millimeter wrench? Where's my 10 millimeter socket? I'd be a millionaire, honestly. Put your tools back when you're done so you can quickly go and grab things and make things happen. I think if you get those tools, also, you know, a pair of vice grips, couple pair of vice grips are going to come in real handy for you too. And if you don't have all the tools now, you can start with some basic stuff to do some of the big work. You can get to a couple of little crescent wrenches and work your way through stuff. So you don't need a lot, but buy quality, buy the right stuff, buy the right tool for the job that you're doing. You're not going to break stuff. You're not going to get frustrated. And if you don't get frustrated, you'll keep carrying on. So that's my tip, man. Go buy some of those tools and you'll be all set. Now, this might not be realistic for everybody, but if you guys can get yourself one of these little sandblasting cabinets, absolutely do it. I was able to fit every part of this motorcycle that I completed this winter into the sandblasting cabinet. And these cabinets are cheap. They're like, I want to say they're like 125, 130 bucks. In order to use it, of course, you'll need an air compressor. Get a bigger one. Those little ones, like this isn't a giant one, but I wouldn't go any smaller than this. Get a nice quality air compressor. That's going to be key. You're going to need a vise. Get a vise. Vise is really, really important. And then I put a ton of miles on this bench grinder. Pro tip, man, hit up garage sales, yard sales, estate sales. You're going to be able to pick up this stuff for really, really cheap. So bench grinder is going to help. A table vise is going to be awesome. Air compressor is absolutely key. And if you want to do a lot of this stuff yourself, get yourself a little blasting cabinet. They are amazing, and it's actually a lot of fun. We'll get into some of that stuff too in some later videos, I'm sure. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, forgot to mention a couple of other things that are just going to help keep things really, really organized. Organization is key. So go and get yourself a bunch of high quality plastic Ziploc bags. Really, really important. Every piece that comes off of this, every component, if we take the handlebars off, all the bolts go into a Ziploc bag. Grab a Sharpie and label the bags. Label all of your parts, okay? That's really, really, really important. The other thing is dedicate a tote to everything, every bike, everything. So you'll probably need about a tote this big, all right, for all the parts that we're going to be pulling off of this thing. I like these ones because these actually acts as a little tray. You can slide these around, put it under the bike, catch some oil, lay it on top, do whatever. But everything that comes off of this bike goes in to a Ziploc bag, labeled with a Sharpie, and into a tote. All right, it's going to keep stuff from getting scattered all over your garage. When you're thinking about, oh, I need this, I need this, I need this, you go straight to the tote. So dedicate a tote to all the parts, and get yourself a ton of Ziploc bags. Don't get cheap Ziploc bags either, because some of the edges on this stuff is really sharp, and like a basic, like a sandwich bag, they break, they fall apart. So you want some of the higher quality stuff there for sure. Yeah, just stay organized. That's the key. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying this stuff, please hit subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Follow on Twitter. It's at BVMatson. And I think that's it. I think we're prepped. I mean, buy a ton of WD-40. Air compressor. You're going to need one of those too, but we'll get to that later.